Hello, everyone, and welcome to Neecee, Lexy. If you're new here, I'm a content creator, digital marketer, as well as a blogger. So, for those who are joining me, welcome to my channel. And I basically today, as you all know, it's our 5 years anniversary. Just taking this moment to reflect on how far I've come as a blogger, as a digital marketing strategist, as an entrepreneur, as a young girl who was just kind of, figuring life out. It has really, really been a journey and a process. And because of that, I really wanted to reflect on what these 5 years actually mean to me and what it is that actually got me to start this channel from before to begin with. Um, I remember my last trip when I went to UK, and I met with one of my stylists who just basically mentioned that a lot of the up and coming artists, models, or designers, whenever they want to get featured or published into a magazine, they don't really get an opportunity to, actually be featured because most most photographer or most magazine publications or other people who have been in the industry for so long actually reject those newcomers because they don't have any accolade, they don't have any things in their resume that says, oh, I was published in this, or I'm a published designer, or I'm a published model, or things like that. So that kind of keeps a lot of those um, newbies out of the gate are not getting a lot of collaboration, not getting being recognized, or sometimes they might be even talented than the people who are currently are in the game. And because of that, opportunities are not passed to them. And that kind of got me the idea of like, okay, since I already have the access to a lot of people, because I was working as a model, working as an event promoter. I was already having my own clothing line with Lexy River. I felt it was very necessary for me to use my access to things to build a platform where about you can just become you can be any upcoming artist, you can be an upcoming model, you can be a business owner who's just kind of basically establishing their business, and you have an idea that is ready to have a social impact, or idea that is going to change people's life, but you just needed that one person to showcase your work, to showcase that you're actually doing something, and kind of give you like a pep in the back and be like, hey, you're doing an amazing job, continue on doing it. So that's basically what the seat of the Neecee Lexy came about, is making sure that I am opening doors for these people, and I'm telling them, hey, look, I see you, I notice you, and you're going to be doing great. So that way, when I feature you today, because this is your first year starting this, 2 years from now, you can reflect and be like, wow, I actually have come so far through the stuff that I actually have done. Or you can even, because some of the questions that I do ask for my interview is like, what is your 2 year goal that you have with yourself? Because you are starting, what does that 2 year look like? And because you have actually mentioned that to me, this is basically you manifesting it into the universe and saying, hey, this is where I wanted to be, this is where I wanted to go. And then 3 to 5 years later, or 2 years later, when I do some of the recaps interview with some of them, and I am actually super proud to see how far and how amazing things that they have accomplished. It's more than what they just have stated to me. Some of them will be like, oh, in 2 years I want to do this, but then in 2 years after following up with them, it just kind of makes me smile to see the work and the effort that they have put into it and how much growth they have actually accomplished. And one of them actually reached out to me the other day and mentioned that because of being featured in Neecee Lexy, they got an opportunity to get a grant for their business, and their business now is taking off, and the Facebook page, it has a lot of numbers, they're generating sales. So this is some of the success story that kind of makes me smile, to be like, wow, that idea of just kind of opening Neecee Lexy actually helped somebody to get where they're supposed to be getting. And the others that I have seen, obviously, that I haven't talked to them, I haven't reached back to them yet, but I am keeping a tab on them. I do follow up with them and kind of see some of the work that they're doing. And I see a lot of amazing ones for those who got awards for the stuff that they're doing. They got recognitions, and some of them who their business have a scale. And for few that have, gone travel around the world, do a lot of amazing things, these are all the success stories that we can look back and be like, wow, 5 years ago when we just featured Neecee as a startup, and then now we're doing these amazing things. And even myself, 5 years ago, the style of my content will look something that was a struggle, but obviously with time, investing in the knowledge, investing in the craft, investing in the time, updating my equipment, things now looking glamorous and everything like I am in the CNN news or BBC news, but this is all come with time. Quality of your work kind of grows over time. And I would say it has been a pleasure being a part of just your journey, to share with you guys some of the stories, and also making friends with some of the people that I've got to interview, being very close with them. And there are some people from around the globe that I interviewed that I don't necessarily have to travel there, but I can still feel connected to them because of just like how close we are with some of our ideas, and how like the connections that we just made based on the simple interview that we did here. So these are some just things that I'm very proud of, kind of opening this channel, like making Neecee Lexy the brand that it's going to have as an impact in society, not just like something that, oh, because it's my name, that everybody should be following it because I am using it as a personal brand to influence people. No, this platform is giving other people access to do great things. Everybody here, everybody can be Lexy. Lexy is just what's it called, like a persona that make you feel like you're the boss. You're the boss of something. You know your dream, you know your purpose, you're going after it. That's what Lexy means to me. And you being a part of the Neecee Lexy platform, that actually what kind of resonates with me is like when I interview these CEOs, when I interview these business owners or these artists who are obviously independent artists, that is what Lexy means. Is they have an idea, they have a goal, they have a purpose, and they have things that they want to have accomplished. So that's what has been the part of the meaning behind what it means to be a part of the Lexinel brand, or be a part of the Neecee Lexy brand, as I said. So things that I've learned along the journey of the 5 years, 5 things I would say I learned being a blogger, or being an order to this creative agency, is that first of all is start with where you are and build as you go. That is one of the lessons that I learned, is that when I first initially started, I did not know what I was doing. I knew I have the idea, I knew I have the concept, but I just didn't have the resources and the tool. And so I have to make sure that I'm always creating, I'm always crafting. And for me, quality of the content and consistency was the two key things that I wanted to make sure. I'm like, it doesn't matter if I'm broke or not, I am going to be consistent with it, and I am going to improve the quality over time. And every single post I post, I will make sure that this post is better than my last post. And if I post a blog, I will say the content of the context and the content of this blog post has to be better than what I posted previously. And every interview that I'm including, even the way the editing style have changed drastically over the years, and the method of how I conduct interviews have changed. It went from a written to audio to video cast, and now to basically having both of them simultaneously running. And this is all a part of that consistency and a part of that quality that I'm going for. And you will see sometimes my background would change, the settings would change, is because I am testing out. It's all has been a test, and just the simple fact of like starting and let it go with the wind. You never know how far you have gonna become and how far you can go with your ideas. And I would say one of the key thing is just a start. That's the key thing I learned about it, is Then the other thing I would say is investing in myself. um Investing, whether it's by going back to school to learn it, or whether by taking classes, doing certifications, um, talking to people who know better things than I do. These are all just kind of part of that journey, is making sure that I'm a lifetime student and I'm always studying. The dangerous thing you can say to yourself is like, oh, I know enough, I don't need to learn no more. As soon as you say that to yourself, it's like basically you are blocking your blessing, you are hindering yourself from growing. Because especially being in the space that I am in the digital tech industry niche. So things are always growing, things are always updating. Google ads is not the same as what it was 3 months ago or 6 months ago. It's always evolving, it's always updating. And that is why they also make you do the certification every year. You have to renew it, is because of the changes that is coming every now and then. And that kind of makes me in a very interesting industry, whereabout I would have to constantly update my knowledge. I have to constantly study. I have to constantly being out in the lookout of what's new and how can I improve what I did last time so that it can continue on working great for me. So that is basically something that I also learned about my experience here. And the third one I would say is believe in what you do. Obviously, if you don't believe on your craft, you don't believe on what you do, how do you expect other people to believe in you? You're gonna have to be your first biggest cheerleader. You're gonna have to be your first biggest investor. You're gonna have to be your first biggest faith believer on whatever that you do, whatever idea that you have. Once you invest in yourself, once you believe the idea, your idea is worth knowing, your idea is worth growing, your idea is worth investing on it, other people will start to notice and actually come and invest in you. And this is a true story for myself. When I initially started, people didn't understand what the heck is Neecee Lexy is all about. Over time, it started making sense for them because of my consistency, because of the stuff that I keep posting and I keep explaining it and growing on it. They finally understood what the brand is all about. And now they will share with their friends, they will talk about it. And I have people who just kind of reaching out to me like, hey, do you need help? Do you need that? Even though I don't necessarily have to say yes to them, but it's just knowing that, there's somebody who got inspired by what I post or got inspired by the content that I'm sharing here. Or some people, simply just because they saw Neecee Lexy a brand, they're like, oh, you know what, I could do something similar like her. Like I actually can open my own YouTube and I can start doing podcasts, or I can also start blogging, or I can start a business or something. These are some things that I just basically felt like, it's very necessary to be a part of that moment, to be a part of that inspiration for people. So that way, especially coming from where I am, it's necessary to have a representation of somebody that's doing something, so that way you can also become that a person who they can look up to and be like, hey, you know what, I could do it too. If Neecee can do it, why can I not do it? This is basically the whole purpose of this. And the fourth thing I would say is patient. Ooh, 5 years, yes. So you got to be really patient. Sometimes things don't work for you right away. You would do something this month and it might take you 2 years or 3 years for it to finally to see the fruits of it, the fruits of your labor. Other times, it would happen immediately, and there might be people who are going to come after you who do the same thing as you and will go further than you and will succeed. But that should not knock you off your pedestal. That should not knock you out of your wheel. That should not make you feel discouraged because, oh, this person came after me and they succeed. No, you don't know how they got there. So I would say stay focused with your idea, and be very patient. That because once your success hit, it's gonna hit in a way that that it's gonna make sense to you. And because also you're gonna be prepared because of how patient you are, and you keep on being consistent, you keep on working on your craft. Once the success hit, you are going to appreciate it because it will start to make sense for you, and you're going to appreciate every single achievement that you're having. And I would say, last but not least, which is the fifth thing that I learned, is that boss up, boss up. Yes, like my show said, boss up with me. To be a boss, you gotta have to mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically, whatever the ology that you need to be able to understand, it's making sure that makes sense to you, because it's going to take a lot of sleepless nights, it's going to take a lot of self-doubt, it's going to take a lot of people not believing in what you're doing, it's going to take a lot of headache. But just mentally be like, you know what, I got this and I could do this and I'm going to do this no matter what. Quitting is not an option. um Folding, it's okay to take a break every now and then, kind of recharge and whatnot, because just like our phone, sometimes it dies, we need to recharge it so that we can work again. It doesn't mean that we're going to throw the whole phone away because the battery died. No, we're going to recharge it, come back and start using it again. So that is same thing with your mind, same thing with your heart. The idea is still going to be there, the main goal should stay as is, but you can go recharge yourself as much time as you want and to continue with your brand. This is Neecee Lexy, 5 years in the game, and I am super proud of where I am and dusting my shoulder. And I am, super stoked to be able to learn what the next 5 years is going to look like. And I know it's going to go a lot of places. This is just the beginning. I am just not even touching the surface, right? But I'm just saying this is just the beginning for a lot of greater things. So the next time I'll probably do video like this in the next 5 years, this account probably will be in the millions of views. I'll probably be somewhere traveling around the world, probably be having books, I'll probably be doing speaking gigs, I'll probably be teaching in college, I'll probably be having my own homes that I actually personally own. So I'm just telling you guys, this whole manifestation will come to life and surpass. So check it out. Neecee Lexy, 5 years in the game. Bye guys.
I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play